Hello and welcome back to GoblinTraders.net and the Destroy Target Permanent official YouTube channel. Get into another draft video. It's definitely a little bit more of a better drafting experience in Ikoria. Draft. The formats became self-correcting again with the introduction of human drafts. So that way we don't have to deal with, the bots maybe not taking some of the cycling cards as high and so on and so forth. I do think the deck's good, or yeah, the archetype is good enough to support at least two decent or to pretty good decks in per draft table. You can possibly bump that up to three depending on what cards are open and everything. So in this pack we have Mythos of Brokos. I haven't been very impressed with this card so far. I mean, it's just fine. Like it's nothing great. And we have Unbreakable Bond, which has actually been pretty good if you can get some of the bigger cycling creatures. Migration Path is pretty good. Not very impressed with the Vigilance Lords. This one is a little bit better. Divine Arrow, it's removal. Helica Glider is okay. Boot Nipper's pretty good. And then you have two cycling cards here. I think let's see. I think I'm actually going to start with Ram Through. I do like this card quite a bit. Unfortunately, here is Unpredictable Cyclone. This is not a card that I've gotten to work yet. I've tried it a couple different times and it hasn't really worked out, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? It looks like we have an uncommon missing from this pack. Farfinder's good. The Rex is good. I actually think I'm going to take a Valiant Rescuer just to kind of speculate. We'll see how this goes. Got a Triome. Avon Oddity's not bad. Keep Safe, I like that in my Mutate decks. The Mole's good. Wilt, I don't mind having one. Gonna take a Memory Leak here. We could end up somewhere. Black-White Humans is a pretty decent archetype. Black-Green with typically a blue splash and some sort of, reanimate or something like that is something that is a possibility as well. So we'll just kind of see how it plays out. Did have a really cool attempt at a video before this one that I actually had a Vivian Monsters Advocate in my deck, and unfortunately that didn't pan out too well. So not the matches, the video actually, my computer froze and wasn't able to keep the video. So we're gonna take a Snare Tactician here. Okay, now Frostvale Ambush, again it's 1-mana cycler. We'll just continue down this path. We're not even halfway through the first pack, so we'll see kind of where it fleshes out. Again, a green-black deck with a light blue splash. Also, you can just play this as a 1-mana, cycler card. It's not too bad. Hope everybody is doing well with everything going on. I know it's kind of crazy out there. Let's see. So here we have Shredded Sails, Forbidden Friendship, Coordinated Charge, Blade Banish, Essence Scatter is not too bad. I think we're going to take Coordinated Charge. This is a card that we would play in our Humans deck or even our Cycling deck if that's where we end up. I don't mind one copy of it in either of those decks. But let's see, what do we got? So now this is basically between Lava Serpent and Boon of the Wishgiver. Let's see. Definitely like the Serpent quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. It is, again, a bit of a hedge. Perimeter Sergeant's not bad, especially if we end up in black-white or anything like that. Raking Claws is okay. Now here, not really a fan of that card, the Solid Footing. I think we'll take the Pyroceratops. I don't think we're going to end up playing it, but you never know. We'll see. We'll take the Gremlin, although again, I don't think we're going to play it. These picks really don't have any bearing on what we're going to be doing. And then this is just kind of going to see where we end up going. We do kind of have a mishmash of a lot of different things. So let's see what we get next. Now we have the Ozolith, which I, again, unfortunately have not been able to really get work. And we're pretty much between Sanctuary Lockdown and Draenus Stinger. Personally, I think Stinger is just a better card. We do have a fair amount of humans. Well, we have 3 humans, so not a fair amount. But I think we're going to take the Stinger. Hopefully this is where we end up. Here is another Snare Tactician. Also a Windscarred Crag, which is consideration. Rogran Triome. If it comes back around, we'll probably pick it up. But for now, we'll take another Snare Tactician. Okay, here we go. Here's a second Draenus Stinger. Rumbling Rock Slide's okay. I don't really like it in my cycling decks because 4 mana is a lot if you're needing this on 4. If you need it, some other turn after that, it's not really that big of a deal. But you're not always going to have 4 mana on 4, so we'll take a Stinger. Okay, here we have Day Squad Marshal, which has actually been pretty good. It's decent. It's, not outrageous or anything. Startling Development, which is a 1 mana cycler. We're going to take the Go for Blood. This is the on-color 1 mana cycler, so even if we need to cast it, we can. So that's kind of the important part. And here is a pretty easy Startling Development. None of these other cards we're really excited about. A lot of our creatures are humans, so Vulpikeet doesn't really apply. So it does look like the cycling hedge has kind of paid off. We have a couple of good payoffs. And we have a fair amount of 1 mana cyclers. Our 2 mana cyclers, again, aren't bad. If we can get the Valiant Rescuer to kind of go off, then Coordinated Charge gets way better. We'll take another Memory Leak here. Definitely want to pick up maybe 1 or 2 more payoffs. If we could get a Zenith Flare, then of course that's insane, but I wouldn't mind a Marmoset in this deck, or a Healer, or second Rescuer, or something like that. Or a Survive Thundermane. Alright, we'll gladly take the Thundermane. Thundermane's actually really good. I think it's a little bit underrated by a lot of people. But I've definitely been impressed by it. This is basically, with a lot of your 1 mana cyclers, this is basically 3 mana, deal 2, you gain 2. which is nice. I do like Momentum Rumbler, but I think we're going to go ahead and go with Imposing Vantasaur. Again, 1 mana cycler. So we'll just see our 1 mana cyclers. If we include the creatures, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we have 3, 4 2 mana cyclers. So that's nice. Again, not sure on the Pyroceratops. We'll just kind of wait and see how the rest of the deck fleshes out. We're going to move it over to the sideboard for now, because these are all cards that we're certain that we're going to be playing. Maybe not the Perimeter Captain, but, you know, again, all of our creatures are humans, aside from the 2 on the back end and the Savai Thundermane. But again, if we can get the Rescuer going, it's pretty good. So now we have Sanctuary Lockdown, we have another Frostveil Ambush, and we have Shredded Sails. I think we're just going to take the Frostveil Ambush. It's another 1 mana cycler. This is definitely a hallmark of this archetype too, is playing around like 13 to 14 lands, which is kind of off from your typical heuristic that we've kind of seen throughout, you know, standard draft. Now, it's basically Tigerilla or the Windscarred Crag. I'm going to take the Windscarred Crag. I want to kind of make our mana as, you know, as good as we can possibly make it. We'll get this Essence Scatter. I'm not going to play it. Ooh, Startling Development Wield. I actually think we're going to take a Cathartic Reunion, though, because with a lot of these cyclers, you end up with lands. Like, you end up fairly flooded, immediately punished with the second Cathartic Reunion coming around. Probably not going to play 2, so let's see what we got. Here is Savai Triome, the Sanctuary Smasher, which is, you know, it's neither here or there. I think we're probably going to take the Divine Arrow. I know there's a 1 mana cycler here and the Regal Leosaur, but I think we're going to take the Divine Arrow, just try to, you know, get some more removal in here. So here we have a Snare Tactician and Blood Curdle, which we could end up splashing if something like Scour Barons or something like that came back around. But I actually think the Tactician is going to be a little bit more important. So now if somebody can just be nice enough to pass us a Zenith Flare, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. Our deck's pretty decent right now. So here, okay, so now here's a real opportunity. The Flourishing Fox and the Marmoset. I actually think we're going to take the Flourishing Fox. It is a 1 mana cycler, and it's also, you know, if you start a game on Flourishing Fox on turn 1, it can get out of hand pretty fast. Okay, here we're going to take Pacifism. I do like Weaponize the Monsters quite a bit. There's a Divine Arrow, Fierce Tigerilla, but we're going to take Pacifism. Okay, here, really the only thing we're looking at is Startling Development, so we'll take that. So, still got a couple more opportunities to get past, you know, some important cards for our deck. There's a chance that the Marmoset wheels. We'll just have to see. But, okay, nothing real exciting in this pack. There's a Raking Clause, but we're not super excited about that. Light of Hope hasn't I mean, it's been okay, so we'll grab that. I'm not really big on a second Raking Claws. We'll take a Vantasaur. Now we'll take a Fight as One. This is also a way for us to destroy an enchantment if we run up against someone who has, pacifism, capture sphere, so on. We'll take another startling development. Gosh. Okay. Nothing else really here. There's another Raking Claws. I don't think we're going to play another one, though. Probably play one. Okay, so here we are. Rareless and Careless. So, definitely going to cut a Raking Claws. Don't think we need too many of those. Let's see. We're not going to play any of those. 10. So we're at 10 lands. Let's go ahead and fix that, and then we can figure out what exactly we have to cut. So I think we can go 6 and 6. We don't have any heavy mana requirements outside of the Savia Thundermane being 2 mana, or 2 colors of different mana. So probably going to play this Fight as One because it can protect our Fox, can protect any of our Thundermane and any of our human cycling payoffs. So definitely like that. Would have liked something bigger on the top end to try to finish off the game a little bit, more cleanly. But what are you gonna do? So I think this is our deck, and let's hop in. So let's see how this goes. I think our deck's okay. I think it's decent. We didn't get the Zenith Flare or any number of major payoffs. I do like this hand. We can go Rescuer on 2 into 1 mana cycle. We can also cycle on turn 1 too, just to try to find our third land to get the Snare Tactician down. I don't know about this Light of Hope. We may end up trading it out for a 2 mana cycler or something like that, maybe an additional Raking Claws. I know I said I wasn't going to play 2, but it may end up being better than a singleton Light of Hope. We'll just have to see. Land and pass the turn. Let's go ahead and cycle the Vantasaur. There's our third land. And our fourth land. So let's go ahead and play the Rescuer. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell. That would be very nice. Cocoon. Okay. So now let's go ahead and attack. We're going to go ahead and cycle. Let's see. And we'll pass the turn. We can cycle on their turn to create another creature. Charge of the Forever Beast. This is only one per turn, right? Yep. Yep. So now we go to our turn. There's the fox. Let's go ahead and play the fox. Stack for 2. We're going to put a counter on the one that they blocked. And pass the turn. Excuse me. And we can cycle this on end step, giving a counter here, and so on. Or maybe not. Wow, second charge? Okay. We're going to go ahead and cycle this. Whew, it's a lot of lands. Plays Tactician. Get in for 3. So now they can go land and play the Cavern Whisperer. Or they have another removal spell for the Tactician. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. Especially since we have an additional Tactician waiting in the wings. So now if they play a creature, we can cycle to tap it down. Okay. Well, that's... was hoping to find a second cycling card to tap down both creatures. But see, this one makes us discard. Okay, that's fine. No worries there. Okay, so opponent's coming in. We'll get in for 4. Pass the turn. Getting life, okay. We're going to cycle. Tap down the 7/7. Cycle. Tap down the 2/2. Attack, they go to 3. We pass the turn. I know if they have an additional mutate creature to put on the symbiote, then we're in trouble. But we're playing to win, not to die. So now let's go ahead and Cathartic Reunion, because we want to hit a cycling card to tap down the Essence Symbiote, and we did. Now they can have a removal spell for one of our creatures, which they didn't, but we have the Raking Claws to give whatever creature remains double strike, and we can go about it that way. So, okay. Got there in game one. Again, you want to keep an eye out on the channel. My co-host, Professor Jeremy Purejank, will be uploading some videos fairly soon. Also going to have the stream up and running. It's primarily going to be him for a little while I get a better rig set up. But I will be popping in to, chat and talk with him and stuff like that throughout games and everything. Let's go ahead and cycle an ambush. Try to get a rescuer or a fox. We'll pass the turn. Haven't really seen a Kahira companion deck in a minute. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's play our Tactician. We have a fair number of cycling cards. We also have a Cathartic Reunion if we get flooded, and Pacifism to potentially take out that. So, the unfortunate part here is the fact that even though we Pacifism the Kahira, the static effect of the +1/+1s to the corresponding creature types is still going to be in effect. So, okay. All of our cards are fairly interchangeable. I think the Cathartic Reunion is probably what you take, but this is also fuel to keep the creatures tapped down. So there's that. We'll play Windscarred Crag, gain a life, get in for 2. I'm going to hold these. May actually just hold the Serpent to be able to cast if we draw land next turn, or if we draw land through cycling these. So it gives us a little bit more oomph. And so we'll go ahead and cycle that. All right. There's also a Vantasaur that's a possibility. So get in for 2. Let's see. Let's cycle this. Resolve. Okay. So we lost the Tactician. That's unfortunate. We'll go ahead and cycle the Breaking Claws and pass the turn. So now we're going to cycle the Coordinated Charge. There's our Thundermane. So now let's pass the turn. If they start playing creatures that are going to be positively affected by the static ability, then maybe we remove it and we go about it that way. There's the Tactician. Actually, let's play the Tactician. That leaves us enough mana to cycle this 1 mana and deal 2 to something. We'll pass the turn. I'm not interested in running into another Divine Arrow right now. I want to wait and see if they play something. Let's go ahead and do this. Then they can choose, you know, whatever. Either way. Okay, so they got rid of the Thundermane, but this also leaves me with the Tactician, which is okay. Let's go ahead and play the Lava Serpent. Get in. Okay, Blade Banish. Their own Survive Thundermane, okay. Oh, that's bad. We're going to block. And Divine Arrow. So they have 2 1/1s, that's fine. We're still at a very comfortable life total. So let's go ahead. See, I have lifeline. Yeah, let's go ahead and tap down one of the tokens. We're going to keep the Vantasaur. We're going to play the Vantasaur. And we'll hold this up to destroy the enchantment. Well, there's that. Okay. Ugh. Has vigilance, no reason not to attack. Okay, we take 3 in the air. We'll pass the turn. Tap down the flyer with the Go for Blood. Definitely want to play the Draenei Stinger. Pass the turn. We'll tap down the flyer. Well, let's play this, then maybe we can try and go wide. Unfortunately, I don't think I can risk the Stinger in combat right now, because we're on 8 cards in the library, they have 18. So we have to try to get something. Oh man, that is definitely not what we wanted to draw, but you know, unfortunately, I think we actually have to try to start attacking. Yeah, that's what I thought, but what are you gonna do? I think if we can draw a couple of cycling, not that. I think we're pretty much dead because I think we're going to deck out before we can actually attack and get in enough damage. So we'll give it one more turn. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's it. Too many blockers. That's unfortunate. So now we'll go on to the third game. Let's see how this goes. Our opponent's deck was pretty cool last game, though. I will say that. It's like draft cats. Okay, so this gives us the ability to start turn 1 Fox. So let's give it a go. Just definitely nice. You know, if this stays on the battlefield for a couple turns, gets large enough, like you have to have pacifism or divine arrow if it's 4 or less, or like a blood curdle or something like that. And you know, blood curdle is a couple turns away. So let's go ahead, cycle the memory leak, get a counter. Pacifism. Attack. We'll give ourselves another turn to draw a red source for the stinger. Kind of see where we end up at. So, okay. There's our red source. Let's see what happens. Just gonna block, okay. We'll go ahead and play the stinger. Fertilid, okay. Well, just attack with the fox, see what they do. Okay, so we're just gonna get in for 2 and play the Thundermane. Then next turn we can cycle this. Well, if we draw a land, we cycle this, pay 2, kill a creature, so on. Well, potentially kill a creature. Okay. Well, this is as broad as it is long, I guess. So we'll cycle the Vantasaur. Let's kill the Fertilid. Draw a land, play a land. Okay. Well, everything kind of came together pretty nicely that game. Even though we didn't have a lot of our 1-mana cyclers, which is kind of weird because our deck's full of them, but worked out. On to the next game. Oh, man. So I'm recording this on a weekend, and it just went by way too fast. I think we need to have a committee, extend the weekend by like 2 days. 4-day weekend, every week. Who's with me? Who am I kidding? Pretty much everybody. Uh, don't really like this hand, so we're going to mulligan. This is nice. I like this. And we'll put back the Light of Hope. We can go turn 1 Fox again, which is always nice. And then we have 2 1-mana cyclers. Okay. Well, there's that. Now, I laugh, but that could have been a number of things. Maybe they didn't draw their second land. You never know really, you know, what's going on. So, on to the 4th game. Well, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name because I'm not really sure how that's going to go. So, if we had a second land, we would keep this. I don't know. Let's see. Our opponent goes first. We have 2 1-mana cyclers. Okay, we at least have a Thundermane, 1-mana cycler, and so on. So we'll keep this, put back the Light of Hope. Not as nice as starting the game out with the Rescuer, but it'll do. Not to mention the Survive Thundermane on turn 2 and then turn 3 1-mana cycler, deal 2 to a creature is nice. So, pass the turn. Let's see, so our opponent is green-black. So, Boot Nipper, yep. Well, we will definitely get rid of that thing the first opportunity that we have because we do try to win through attacking. So there is that. Man, these Godzilla lands are pretty cool. So gotta give it up there. So let's go ahead and attempt to do this. See what happens. Okay. Draw land breaking clause. So let's attempt to get in for 3. Maybe. And we'll pass the turn. Okay, so our opponent has some cycling stuff. So maybe they have the Unbreakable Bond or Back for More or something of that nature. Shovel. Okay. So let's see what happens. Attack. This is Death Touch. So they could have traded it. Let's go ahead and play the Stinger. And pass the turn. So let's see, they put like a counter here, and then if they have Back for More, they bring this back and fight. And then they, what is it, gain 3, draw a card? Well, let's go ahead. I actually think we're going to cycle Coordinated Charge, because we're not really going that wide. Okay, Startling Development. So let's see. see what happens. Okay, so our opponent takes 3 again. Oh no, they're blocking this time. Blood Curdle, okay. So they gain 3, they draw a card. Now we'll play Perimeter Sergeant. Okay. I imagine you put the counter on the Stinger. Maybe. I mean, that's... Okay. Pass the turn. I mean, if this card continues to stay on the battlefield, it is going to be a problem. We definitely need to figure out something. But... Trample. No. Sure. That sucks, but... That's a pretty interesting combo, though. So... Jeez. My gosh, man. Amphidoros Fiend Artisan? Seriously? Gosh, just all the mythics? Yeah, this isn't looking too good. Yep, and we're done. Whew. The flood was real. Would have loved to find a Cathartic Reunion or something that game. Okay. On to the next game. Forever Forward. Yeah. Man, double mythics in the deck. That was... Whew. It's a rough one. Good mythics, too. So... Okay, I think this is fine. We have a couple 1-mana cyclers to try to find some earlier action than the Snare Tactician. No, I'm going to mulligan. Okay, so we have the Draenei Sting. We have some other 1-mana cyclers, so I'm actually going to put back the Snare Tactician. There's the Thundermane. Play the Stinger. Man, these lands. Jelly. Supposed to say Easy Prey. I think that's the only card that comes to mind. Or a Heartless Act. Yeah. Well, there's a land. Let's play Thundermane. Jeez, man. course, now we're not finding any lands. Oh boy. Okay. Well, there's a land. Play another stinger. Pass the turn. Resolve. And blocks. Night Squad Commando. Let's cycle raking calls. Okay. Let's go ahead and pacifism the perimeter sergeant. And we'll pass the turn. Let him attack. I'm going to Divine Arrow the Night Squad Commando. I think we are going to block here and take the opportunity because I don't think we can afford to let them go very wide. Man, another Fiend Artisan. Okay. Well, I guess this is what we got, so let's do it. So here we're concerned about Blade Banish, Pacifism, or if their Artisan gets too big. Ah, forgot about that one. Well. Okay, what are we going to go get? It's kind of rough back-to-back games losing to Mythic Rares, let alone the same one, but you know, it does happen. Cycler Coordinated Charge, see if we can get anything going, and we can't. So we take 8 here, go to 9. Let's see. Yep, and that's it. So, thank you guys for hanging out. If you would please give us a like, subscribe, and don't forget to use DTP5 at goblintraders.net for 5% off all of your Magic purchases. And everybody take care out there. We'll see you guys next time.